Hi, Eric Doc Wright here, military veteran, serial founder, several companies and a nonprofit, and business philosopher and linguist. I'm also the author of the Amazon #1 best-selling How to Speak Civilian Fluently and Prove It with Your CM Credential. This book, teaches military veterans the language that we speak in the civilian labor force, the CivDiv, which is management. It also helps them prove their fluency in the civilian language of management with their certified manager credential. This CM credential validates all of their operational experience, and project management credentials such as the PMP or the ACP or the PSM from scrum.org, those validate their non-standard work experience leading projects and programs. So this is Doc's Transition Classroom, and the word of today from the book, chapter 10, page 134, is cyberterrorism. But before we look at that cognate, and I explain what a cognate is, let me tell you about today's sponsor. So excited, and they couldn't be a better fit. Today's sponsor is ATA, a boutique training firm in Florida that does all things IT, cybersecurity, and project management. Some of the industry's best, most experienced instructors. They're one of Florida's first and only CMCCAB training providers. They provide a plethora of IT and cyber stuff, certified ethical hacker, Sec Plus, etc. All the CompTIA stuff. But they also have 24-person classroom training locations in both Tampa and up in the Panhandle in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. They also have 4 mobile laptop classrooms they can deploy to anywhere to train anybody, both in continental US and outside continental US. Lynn Fisher and her team at ATA are the real deal for veterans transitioning into the civilian labor force that want to go into cyber and or IT security. That's why we're so excited to be partnered with them in our DoD authorized SkillBridge IT track. Okay, so the word of the day on page 134. Word of the day is cyberterrorism, right? And this is what we call a cognate in language. A cognate is a word or a term that is the same in 2 different languages. So remember that our 2 different languages are what? The language of military leadership, I lead this, I lead that, I lead this other thing, I lead everything. And civilian labor force management, which is, hey, I'm a manager, which means I plan what we're gonna do, I organize the resources to execute the plan, I lead the people in execution of the plan, and I control the whole thing the whole way. Military leaders do the same thing as managers. Managers do the same thing as military leaders, minus the training and the exercises and the loss of life or limb and the exposure to risk and shooting and all that stuff. But from an organizational perspective, provide purpose, vision, motivation, direction. That's what they do. Leadership is a function of management. Okay, so the cognate is a word that's the same in both languages or similar. Cyberterrorism is an example. The definition of cyberterrorism in the book, How to Speak Civilian Fluently and Prove It with Your CM Credential, is the politically motivated use of computers and information technology, there's IT for you, Lynn and ATA, to cause severe disruption or widespread fear in a society, all right, which is always a threat, especially as our world becomes smaller due to technology, cloud, internet, etc. So thanks for joining me in this episode of Doc's Transition Classroom. We appreciate ATA sponsoring the word of the day, which is cyberterrorism. I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.